Well, thank you once again for coming on. How have you been?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, it's good to talk to you again. I remember last time, I was giving you a lot of praise on how well you're doing, and hey, man, you're those expectations, you've gone way far and beyond. Over 10K in payouts, regular payouts as well. Since we last spoke, how has has your trading changed, or have you just stuck to the same kind of script?
I actually I keep learning. I'm not a perfect trader, but by any means, you know what I'm saying. So I try to keep learning more and more and try to apply it in the live market as I go. So I got some new things going on with my strategies. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And for the viewers who may not have seen the last interview, can we just quickly run over again, what you kind of look for on a trading day? Now, I know you're on a mobile, so you can't show the charts, but just like a quick explanation of kind of, the style of trading you do.
Sure. I break it down. I basically, the first thing that I do, go through the time frames, and I actually check. But the most important for me is the daily one, because the daily one is gonna give me the trend, and I only I stick to the trend. So first, I look for the trend. Let's say I'm running the gold. So basically, right now, as you know, it's going on an uptrend. It's going up and up. So I already know before I get into the market that I'm gonna look for buys. And the next step for me is to look for a good entry point. And for that, what I'm using right now, and that's what I'm learning, is for candlesticks. Is what is actually giving me like the confirmation, so I know when is the right moment to take that buy, for example. So I use the doji and I use the so there's a couple of other candlesticks that I use just for confirmation.
Yeah.
So once I know that what direction I'm going, and I get the confirmation, I get into the trade with my stop loss, my take profit, and then the third step, which is the most important, is the risk management.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's awesome. I mean, you mentioned the doji candle. Is that kind of your favorite, candlestick or candlestick pattern?
Yeah, doji, the hammer, and also I don't know how to say in English, you might correct me, but I think it's emulsifying, or there's one I can explain it. Let's say we're on an uptrend, it's going up, and then, it reverses down. And then once that candle closes, the next one is bigger than the previous one. And it kind of like
an engulfing candle.
Engulfing, that's the word that I was looking for. So I like the engulfing candles for confirmation, and they have been working pretty good for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then you're very kind of momentum driven, right? Your trading strategy. You wait for the trend and you kind of try to follow that momentum.
Yeah. I try to stick to that because when I go into dailies, the market is telling me where he wants to push, and if the market is pushing for, an uptrend. Why would I go like on sales, and or on a bearish market condition? Like for me, I respect other traders. I know everybody has their own strategy, whatever works for them. But for me, I like the momentum. I like the momentum. I like to get my confirmation, my entry point, and as long as I keep my risk to reward ratio 1 to 3, it works for me because I feel like when you're going in the trend direction, you might get 1, 2, sometimes even 3 or 4, on losing trades. But eventually, you're gonna get your wins. And when you keep the risk to reward ratio 1 to 3, you're definitely gonna make up for those losses and be successful in the long run.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. So is that kind of what you like to target, a 1 to 3 as standard, or is?
I like 1 to 3. I have tested before, I tried to before to stay like 1 to 2, and it works as well. But I have been implementing the 1 to 3 I don't know if if things are just working out for me right now, but I will keep testing. But so far, 1, 2, 3 is my favorite because, like I said, sometimes you're not gonna get the best entry point. And even if the market is going up, you might end up losing the trade on a reversal or some consolidation area. So 1, 2, 3 for me is working out really good.
Yeah, no, I can definitely imagine. So say, for example, hypothetical question. Okay, say you see a really nice trade setup, and you're calculating your stop loss, and then you're calculating where your take profit would be. But say for whatever reason, maybe due to market structure or whatever, you do not think it's going to do a 1 to 3. But it might do like a 1 to 2. Would you still take that trade?
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I try to stay away from once I set up my TP and my stop loss. I try to go to sleep because honestly, I put up my trades before bedtime. But yeah, it's part of the emotions. Sometimes, like 2 days ago, I was trading. I was like a couple of pips away from hitting TP, and all of a sudden, just went straight into stop loss.
That's
you
the
feel
most
the
painful.
anger, but yeah, you feel the anger and all that.
Yeah.
But I try to respect my plan. I try to respect my plan, but it's still a learning curve. Like if I'm actively checking the charts, yeah, sometimes I'm guilty. Sometimes I'll take the the 2.5 because at the end of the day, sometimes
of course
profits is better than the stop loss.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. Like I'm a big believer at taking what the market can give you. And
right.
I mean, I have a different style of trading. Like I'm way more of a scalper. Like I'm like a really quick scalper. Like most of my trades are like a couple of minutes at most. But so I can be a bit more lenient in the kind of the risk rewards and things like that. But I absolutely like what you explained there. But this is the thing. This is the funny thing with trading. Every style of strategy can work. Like as long as there's an edge, obviously, it can work as long as you stick to the rules of that style. Like if you start implementing rules I have for my strategy into yours, it probably will make your strategy worse. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. Right. If I implement stuff that works for you under my style of trading, it might actually make my results worse too. So you got to figure out what is, and that's done by backtesting, right? And what is actually the most optimal set of rules that will give you the biggest amount of profit in the long run. And if for you, holding those trades, regardless whether they get 1 pip away from the TP and you're still going to hold it to that TP is what has shown, the data has shown that is the most profitable, then that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? As painful as it is, because that would kill me. I mean, it's happened before in the past. That's when I'm I'm done.
It hurts. It hurts. But one of the things that I learned in this trading journey is that if you don't respect your strategy, it's gonna hurt even more because sometimes I'll jump into taking profits before it hits the TP and then it goes straight and hits the TP. So I wouldn't got the what I was looking for. And sometimes I get out of my plan. I do something that I shouldn't have done and I lose. And then I'm, suffering anger and all that. So I understood that even if I lose following the plan, it doesn't feel bad for me. Like I don't care if I take a trade and I hit the stop loss, as long as I stick to my plan, I'm cool with it. I don't because I know I'm going to lose anyways. This is not a just winning, game. We're here to take the losses and the wins. But at the end of the day, you're just looking for the edge. Of course, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's a very resilient mindset you have there. Very disciplined. And that's exactly what it takes to be a good trader. Like I remember when I used to kind of dabble with swing and intraday trading before I became a scalper. I remember there was this one trade I took, and I hated this trade. It was getting very close to my TP, and I was like, it's going to hit it, no problem. And I'm kind of, just eyeing the market. Any minute now, my TP is going to get hit. And there must have been some kind of news or something, nothing major, but for some reason we had this kind of crazy spike up. And as we spiked up, I was shorting the market. As we spiked up, I panicked and I just got out the market. And I got out only at like a tiny loss because it just went into my just above my entry. And then the moment I literally exited, it went boom right down to my teeth, and I was like, no. I was so angry that day. That was the worst. Like I still feel that to this day. Like that was.
I got a horrible story. I don't know if I can say it here, but I got one that was pretty bad. Yeah, so basically, I've been trading for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And my first time ever that I got funded, it was my first funded account. I was so excited. And it was like 2 years ago. And I was trading until I was up to like 7% on a 100K account. So I was like $7,000 in profits. So basically, once I reached like 7,500, I closed this trade because I was celebrating with my wife, like the first time that I actually got a payout out of Forex, which seemed impossible at first. I don't know what happened, if I touched the phone or whatever. So I opened accidentally another trade. And once I somehow, I don't know what I did, but I ended up opening like a trade. So once I noticed, I lose about $400, and it goes down like from 7,000 something, like 6,000 and something. So I said, no, I'm not gonna. My wife was saying like, just close it and take that, and I was like, no, I want to recover those $400 that I lost by accident. So what I ended up happening is that I breached the account that same day because it went down like to 102, but I lost more than like 5K. And I breached that account. So yeah, so I went from not taking all 7K in profits to breaching my first ever payout. Yeah, that was depression. That was everything that you can imagine.
Absolutely. That's painful. That's really painful. But I tell you what, though, these kind of stories, as painful as they were at the time, that ensured you. I guarantee you've never made that mistake again.
No. You learn. It's part of the process. I became a better trader. Obviously, I had to take some time, a couple of months, honestly.
Yeah.
From trading, I'm not gonna lie. But once I got back, that was the changing moment for me. That actually changed my mindset because I knew that I wasn't ready. And that actually helped me, prepare better mentally. And once I got that change in my mindset, that's when everything started working out for me. Basically, after that accident, I had to stop trading for a couple of months, rethinking if this was actually for me. I had some dark moments.
Yeah.
But once I got over that was the that moment I realized that I needed to work with my mentally first, because once I got that solved, everything has been working out for me.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And so anyone watching this who's at that stage where you're kind of getting good at trading, but you're not quite there yet, and you still have these kind of big losses or whatever it might be, know that those are almost. You might not agree with it right now, but you kind of need to feel that pain, because it's going to be even more pain if you start getting very good and you never truly learn your lesson, and then you make that mistake when you've got a lot more money at risk. Like, fine, you're one, you lost 7K potential payout, right? Okay, that's quite a big chunk of money, right? But if you didn't learn that lesson then, I'm sure if you did that mistake now, you'd lose a lot more. Do you see what I mean? You kind of have to go through it, and you have to learn from it as well. You can't, because I've seen people make the same mistake over and over and over, and they just go round in circles and they never learn. And it's kind of, you want to shake them and be like, wake up. Can't you see the issue here? Like, you're doing the same thing over and over and you're expecting different results. It's not, you have to change. And I think they just haven't been hit hard enough. Like I was one of those people, the amount of times I did the same mistake of over trading or the same mistake of over leveraging or the same mistake of FOMO and all these, typical kind of, what most traders do at first. It wasn't until I took probably the biggest loss of my career in like one sitting. We're talking like 30 grand here, where I was like, right, like, nah. Like now is time. I remember I sat down, I was looking in the mirror and I was like, you're going to get your act together now. No more BS. I wrote down my rules. I stuck them on my PC and I had to take a break as well. I took a long break. I think I didn't trade for almost a whole year because I was that scarred. I was scared to jump in the market after that. Like just the idea of opening a trade scared me. It really did a number on me, that experience. But I came through it on the other side a better trader, and it shaped the trade I am today. And I don't think without that experience, I'd still be doing the same mistake, going round and round in circles. Mm-hmm. So it is a blessing in disguise. So no matter how bad it gets to the viewers, keep pushing through and just learn from those mistakes. There is a light at the end of the tunnel in the trading career. I was going to ask, you're very disciplined as a trader, especially the style of trading you do as well, because you have to be disciplined. Was that just did you learn that discipline from just trading itself, or are there other areas in your life where you kind of forced you to be disciplined? Because, for example, I've interviewed people who were like ex-military, and they said they learned their discipline in the military or whatever. Do you see what I mean? And they kind of brought that with them to trading. How was it for you?
For me, I learned the hard way. Because honestly, the first 3-4 years, I didn't make one single penny from Forex. And as I saw other people having success, it didn't make sense for me. It was very frustrating. And here in Puerto Rico, there's some other traders. And one of them just kept repeating something that it actually caught my attention. He said that the strategy is only 5% important. But the 95% that will make you successful as a trader is the discipline.
Yeah.
So I was thinking internally, like, why will he say that only 5% is the strategy? Like, that doesn't make sense at all. To me, the strategy was and then I said, well, I have nothing to lose. Let's get better. Let's and I started out, watching YouTube, watching more content about how to be more disciplined and dominating my emotions. And as today, I can confirm, that, discipline and staying disciplined is the most important in trading. I don't even think it's the strategy, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And I think that's another big issue within the world of trading. Like you go on YouTube, for example, and you type in Forex trading or futures trading, doesn't matter, whatever, right? And the first videos that will come up will always be the best strategy, new strategy, this strategy, that strategy, 95% win rate strategy, all strategy related, right? And don't get me wrong, there are some strategies that have a bigger edge than others. And, not all strategy is the same, but a lot of strategies have an edge, and that's literally all you need. And you're absolutely right. No one really talks about the kind of discipline side of it. The amount of videos I've seen of people backtesting all these different strategies, and trying to find the holy grail, and it's you're wasting your time. Find something that works for you, that fits your personality, that fits your schedule. If you work a full daytime job, maybe you don't want to be a scalper. Maybe you want to be a swing trader, put a few trades after work. You got to find something that works for you as a person, and then recognize there is an edge, but you got to allow that edge to play out. Don't change the strategy, And you're right, it's all about the mindset. And that should be the biggest takeaway for most traders. They should be reading books. They should be learning how to improve their discipline more than, finding magical strategy or indicator or something that will just do it for them, because that doesn't exist. I wish it did, but it doesn't.
Yeah. That's how it is. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I've interviewed a trader who had like the most simplistic strategy. I think he used like one EMA, and it was literally like he traded by just, you know, following a few little rules. You know, it has to be a trend, and then, you know, as it tests the EMA, he would like get in. And he was profitable. Like, this is the most basic form of trading.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, literally the most basic thing. And he just stuck with it and has a very solid set of rules, a lot of discipline, and he's made it work. So that in itself is proof that you don't need a complicated strategy. You know,
I started out even money with, you know, resistance, support.
Yeah.
Just going in the trend direction, and there was that. People ask me like, "What are you doing?" Asking for tips, and I keep it simple. To be honest with you.
Yeah, keep it simple. That's so true. Keep it simple. I was also going to say, like, even if you just close your eyes and you just, like, I'm a big believer that actual trade management can even make you profitable, right? So, like, if someone just told you, close your eyes right now and just pick up or down, you know, buy or sell, doesn't matter. And you just you're forced to just enter in that moment. I think a good trader would be able to, if they did that 10 times in a row, would either end up break even or in profit, because they'll be able to quickly analyze and use trade management. Say, okay, I don't think this is okay, I've entered a buy. It's clearly a bearish market. I don't think it's going to be a pullback right now. Better get out now. Take a small loss. It's fine. Get out. Do you know what I mean? And they'll be able to limit their loss if they're wrong. They'll recognize it quickly. And if they're right, they'll say, actually, this is not a bad trade. I'm going to hold it, let the profit pile up. So, and there's been like not competitions, but you could call it competitions, or people doing that. And it's fascinating to see, because it just shows that, again, even just pure, the entry isn't always the most important thing. The exit can be just as important or even more important when it comes to trading. And everyone always focuses on the entry, sniper entries, right? What about the exit? What about, you know, the management of that trade? Like, there's a much bigger picture to look at. And it's sad, because beginners just kind of focus on one little tiny sliver of the market and try and find something that unfortunately doesn't exist. Remind me again, what asset you mostly trade? Was it gold, I think?
Yeah, I mostly gold. I also do the JPY, USD JPY, and some others too. But I try to stick with I like gold, honestly.
Yeah, gold. Gold was the one where I had that massive loss of my career. So gold for me, I'm still scared. I'm still scared of gold.
Either way.
To this day, I am scarred by gold. So I haven't traded it since then, and I never will. So I always have huge respect for people who trade gold. But it is a nice instrument to trade. Like, I remember back in the day, it was lovely to trade. Sometimes they can respect levels so well, be very disciplined. And, you know, if you have a strategy that works well with gold, like, oh yeah, you can do really well. And it moves a lot. You don't need much. Even in quiet times, gold can make you a pretty penny. So great thing to trade.
For me, I try to enter during the Asian, and I leave it open and pray that before New York hits, I already hit my TP. If not, then I'm usually looking to get out of the market. I'm not a big fan, you know, trading the New York with all the news anyways. And the movement is dangerous. So you kind of learn along the way,
Do you prefer to kind of enter a trade and then go to sleep, kind of forcing yourself to, you know, not interfere with it because you're asleep, than if you were to enter a trade and actually actively kind of be at the computer and watch it?
Yeah, because, you know, honestly, you know, I'm not perfect, and Forex works with your emotions.
Oh.
And, you know, and sometimes checking the chart, you know, you go excited and then you start going the other way and you feeling anxious and all that. So for me, it just works to go to sleep, honestly, and respect the strategy. That way I'm okay with whatever happens. Even if I lose, I'm okay with it. At the end of the day, next day when I wake up and I see the chart, I can track it and see how far it was from the TP, and I can study whatever happened. But it works for me that way, and I plan to stick that way.
No, that's fascinating because I'm the complete opposite. Like I could not enter a trade and go to sleep. I literally would not sleep. Yeah. I would have nightmares. I obviously I tried it before, and I couldn't fall asleep. Like every 2 minutes, I had to get my phone out, check it, and then when I did eventually fall asleep, my dreams were just about the trade. Constant, and it was always a bad dream. It was never like a nice dream where I hit the take profit. No, I was always straight into my stop loss and whatnot, and I couldn't do it. So that's fascinating. But it just shows, different people have different styles, different kind of what works for them. There's not, one size fit all when it comes to trading. Let's move on and talk a little bit about Hola Prime again. So, okay, you've had multiple payouts now, over $10,000. You've got another, I think, $2,300 payout coming up. How I know last time you sang our praises a lot. Has anything changed in your opinion of Hola Prime?
No. When looking for prop terms, there's a couple of things that you need to pay attention to. Obviously price. We're here. We're trying to make money, so we're trying to look for a fair price. Obviously, too cheap sometimes. It might be might not be a good company. So I try to stay away from super cheap and and the drawdowns ridiculous. That doesn't make sense. But one thing that I look for is price. The second one is is customer service. Like if I am Hola Prime, honestly, is like top one because you can go into your email and just shoot a message, and basically it's like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes even less. They get back to you. So that's the number two. And the number three is the rules. You want to look for fair rules. And for me, I like the one phase challenges, and the static drawdown is it's really good. Some other companies do the trading down, and that's a deal breaker for me. Yeah. So those three things alongside, price, customer service, and rules make it, make Hola Prime really good.
Awesome. And payout wise, still very happy with the speed and our payout process.
Yeah, payouts are really quick. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And you're absolutely right. You have to be cautious when picking a prop firm. Sadly, I mean, I wish it wasn't like that, but you're right. Price, things like that. If it sounds too good to be true, and it's some unheard of prop firm that doesn't really have much of a presence, or you never see real people like with us. We've got Hola Prime TV, for example, a bunch of coaches. We're live every day. Like there's real people there, But you see these kind of shady kind of firms where there's not a single real human face on any, and it's kind of like, who's actually running this prop firm? Is it just some guy in his bedroom? Like, and it could be, you don't know. This is the thing. It could be, it's not really a real company, So you gotta be careful. Like I've seen ridiculous stuff in the prop industry, and I've seen companies, offer $1 million of real capital, not even simulated, real apparently, for like pennies, for a few $100s. I'm like, I wonder how many people have actually sadly fallen for that, because of course that's not real. Like it doesn't make any sense, right? But and then it's sad because they give the whole prop industry as a whole a bad reputation, because there'll be people who try it. They'll obviously find out that it's some kind of a scam, and then all prop industry, all prop firms are scams, and it's and once you find a good prop firm, I think it's important to stick with it and, go the long way, because like prop trading can be so beneficial. When I started, there was no such thing as like the modern prop firms. you had to just kind of build up your own capital. You had to save up, and and it took forever. Took forever, man.
It wouldn't make sense for me. It wouldn't make sense, just to try my own capital. Honestly,
yeah.
Like I will just stay away from forex.
No, 100%. This is it. Like you had to. There was such an element of luck to it as well, because the only way you could truly grow and actually have like a decent amount is either by saving, and every month when you get paid, put in a bit more extra, and never pay yourself. You couldn't even take money out the market, because the moment you did, you're lowering your overall balance, which means. Do you see what I mean? Like the whole point is to kind of grow the account, right?
Right.
So it took forever. It will take years, to build that up. And sometimes you get a bit lucky of a bigger trade or a bigger, month or whatever, and you can kind of. But now with prop industry, like, man, it's a game changer.
Yeah, it's a game changer, yeah.
But you got to stick to the rules, and you got to, respect the rules. And the rules, I think, are overall pretty fair. Like. You have to, if anything, I feel it makes you a better trader, because you're kind of forced to stick to those risk management rules, and they are there, believe it or not, to kind of help you in a weird way, because they're not trying to restrict you, but because if you take those rules away, the majority of people would absolutely blow the account 9-10 times out of 10. It will just happen because people will get too excited. But when they know that there's a maximum loss, then all right, or scale back. They take it more seriously. Do it with a cash account. Get 100K, put it in a broker in cash. Guarantee that 100K will be gone. Most beginners will blow through that in a couple of months easily, because they'll put on like 100 lots, trying to flip it into a million, and before they know it, they've lost it all. Like you just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But you have one account with us, right?
Yeah, I have one. Yeah.
Awesome. Are you still looking to get more?
Yeah, definitely. I fail a couple of challenges. Sometimes I get up like 7-8% and then go to drawdown and loss. Nah, not a good luck, but I'll keep trying. Obviously I got goals, and I want to get a couple more 100 accounts. Yeah,
no, absolutely. I'm sure you will. I mean, look, failing challenges is I don't know a single trader who's never failed a challenge. Like even funded and payouts and everything, they take a challenge, sometimes they fail, because there is that element of the market conditions that you're doing the challenge in. When you're funded, you don't have a profit goal, right? You can make 1%, that's fine. 2%, great. You don't have to make that higher percentage goal. So you can kind of, it's not that difficult. It's easier once you're funded, but with the challenge phase, like sometimes the market can just not be in a good state for your strategy, and it can be a bit difficult. But again, you've done it before. You've done it many times before. You're clearly a good trader. You've got multiple payouts. Like, just build up that capital, and I'm sure, it'll work out very well in your favor. But apart from that, Joel, I think that pretty much sums it up and wraps it up. So thank you again for coming on. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And I hope we can have you back on again. Maybe when you have a few more accounts and more payouts, and, and you got your Lamborghini, and
let's go for it. I'm going for it. Yeah,
absolutely. You got to dream big, right? But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, and thanks again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joel. And to all the viewers, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on channel notifications, join our Discord, and also tune in to Hola Prime TV every Monday to Friday, every single trading day. Myself and our other trading coaches break down the live markets, take live trades, and we share it all with our viewers. So it's well worth tuning in. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Hola Prime, trade with transparency.